And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Horizen Weekly Insider number 98. We are fastly approaching to the 100 edition of our Weekly Insider. Today is August the 2nd, 2021. Thanks for joining us live here on Discord and YouTube. And please be aware that this call is being recorded and will also be available for you to check out later in our Horizen podcast. Also, please remember to ask your questions on Menti while this call is happening so our team can answer your questions at the end. So let's kick it off with our first update, and this is coming from Luca to give us the engineering updates. Luca, please, welcome.
Hi all, a few updates today. Let's start with the audits of our Zendu codebase and the proving system codebase. As we mentioned last week, we are working on the remaining issues that have been detected by the audit companies, and in particular, there are 2 remaining open issues on Zendu out of 5 that are being addressed as of now. One was actually fixed last week and is under internal review, while the last one is being worked on right now, and we plan to open a pull request today, after which we will start the internal review also on this. So for these 2, the plan is to accomplish the internal review within a couple of days and then pass the fixes to the auditing company. The other issues we let's say were already fixed and internally reviewed, so we sent them already to the third party auditing company, and they have scheduled time to review our fixes during this week. Then, talking about the proving system, we have identified the actions to address the 4 remaining issues out of 21. Here, the plan is very similar. We will continue addressing the issues during this week, while all the other 17 fixes that we have already concluded have been shared with the third-party audit company or even rediscussed with them because we didn't consider all the findings as issues. And also, this other third-party company is going through our fixes this week, so great progress on both the audits, on both the Zendu and the proving system side. Then, regarding the next delivery, last week we completed the implementation and the first code review of the SDK versioning related changes, and the requested changes have been addressed already. Today we were able to approve this development, which is now ready for our final review. This is the first deliverable of the SDKA to, let's say, be ready for our final code review. We are also continuing with the design sessions of the other deliverables, and in particular, again, on the SDK side, we are already working on the design of the witness generator for the base transaction proofs in block proposal. And finally, on the circuit side, which is another main area of the next delivery, tomorrow we are starting the implementation of the main chain backward transfer circuit, which is the 4th circuit on which we'll be working out of 13. So we have a total of 13 circuits to be developed, and this will be the 4th that we will start, because 3 of them were already started in the past months, if you recall the past weekly insiders. And last but not least, other activities that we are bringing on are related to the support of the Is Ck Audit chain, but maybe this is going to be covered later. So I'll stop for it now, here now, and that's all. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Luca. Next, we have Jonathan for the growth updates.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. So the big project for growth, as I mentioned last week, is the ebook that we're working on, basically turning some of our academy content into a free ebook. So it's a little bit more complicated than that. So I'll talk a little bit about our process. So the first thing that we do is we find our target audience for this particular ebook, as we'll have many, and each ebook has their own audience that we try to talk to. Once we determine who our target audience is, we have to determine the voice that we use to talk to them. Is it more of a casual voice? Is it more of a technical voice? Since this is an introductory ebook, it'll probably be more on the casual side. The next step that we have to take, we see which content is already available online And we try to create content that is something unique, so that people download ours rather than someone else's. So we can't basically have a copy and paste, or why would they download ours? So after we see what's available, we can determine what's unique. The next step would be to determine the table of contents, which we did last week. And then after that, we create a single chapter so that we can test and approve the voice. I received a single chapter this morning, so I'll be going through it and seeing if the voice is correct. Once that's correct, we will continue to make the rest of the book in that similar voice. And of course, the main purpose of this is to bring new users into the Horizen ecosystem. So we want to have calls to action within the book to bring users onto the Horizen ecosystem. So that could be, for example, creating a test your knowledge test. That could be creating a one-page download, which you have to come to the Horizen website in order to download. So those kinds of calls to action we'll be discussing in next week's meeting. And that's it for me. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now let's continue with Lucy for the marketing updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday and happy August. So our Is Ck Audit celebratory community giveaway ended last weekend. So we have 20 lucky winners. We will contact the winners soon. So if you didn't win this time, that's okay. There's always next time. We have community giveaways regularly. So just make sure that you follow our social media feeds. And next, I would like to announce our newest member of our marketing team. Toju, I hope Toju is our new content specialist, and he will be focusing on producing and improving our content in a variety of formats. So Toju is actually on the call right now. Toju, would you like to say hi and introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. Yes, thanks for the introduction. Hi, everyone. My name is Toju, and joining the team as a content specialist. Been working in the crypto space for about 3 years, writing articles, research reports, and really excited to be able to take on challenge and the opportunity to talk about Horizen. So glad to be on the team.
Thank you, Toju. Welcome to the team. I'm very excited to have Toju on our team, and there's definitely no bad time to join the Horizen team, but this is, I would say, the extra exciting time to join as we are getting closer and closer to Zendu mainnet and all the other exciting activities happening at the moment. Thank you, and welcome to the team again. I think Erica also has some updates about our ambassador program. Erica?
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the team, Toju. We're so excited to have you. So for the ambassador program, I'm really excited to say that daily tasks have seen approximately a 30% increase in completions over the previous weeks. So it's exciting to see all of that activity. If you have any ideas for daily tasks that we can do, just let us know. You can contact either Manon or myself. We'd be happy to take a look at your suggestions. This week, we'll be creating some new ambassador tasks on the HDE based off of feedback that we received from our ambassadors. So be sure to be on the lookout for new HDE tasks. Thanks.
Thank you, Erica. That's it from us. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you, Lucy, Erica, and welcome, Toju. So now let's welcome Rosario for product and engineering section.
Happy Monday, everyone. We continue refining our roadmap for 2022 from the tech team perspective. So this is both engineering and product team. And we are moving full steam with the direction that Rob provided us, which is to follow the easiest path to opening the Horizen ecosystem as soon as possible. A part of doing so is growing the team with to increase capacity of our team, and doing so in an intentional way that's not disruptive or counterproductive. Right? We want to have growth that is productive and not just growth just for sake of growing, because you have activities that may not be. We want to make sure that we are onboarding everyone effectively. On the product side, we have had significant growth. Today I was on a call with 13 people on a product side, and that's just a great change that we've had over the last few months, and doing so in a very productive way. So I previously identified 4 teams about a year ago, and I'm happy that we have new team members that are coming in within those categories and further expanding them. So just to give you a little bit of insight of what those categories are, and we have the SDK as a product team, and the mission is to open up the Horizen ecosystem for developers. We have the sidechain team, which is mission is to implement use cases for Horizen Labs. And we have the tools team, which the mission is to build first-class tools for the Horizen community. And of course, our evangelist team, which their mission will be to promote Horizen's technology to the wider community. So now that we've gone through this year of growth where we have additional resources, and we are able to dedicate resources into hiring teams. So if you're looking for your next position, I will post the link here, and please keep Horizen and Horizen Labs in mind. Horizen, the Zen Blockchain Foundation, is also hiring developers. So we are looking at expanding our team for open source development and continue expanding that ecosystem. So I just wanted to give everyone an insight of we are growing as a team. We are doing so in a way that is thoughtful and with intention, and a way that is that we could literally supercharge our efforts instead of it being counterproductive. On the project side for Horizen Labs, Ck Audit, which is our audit sidechain, we kicked off marketing campaign, as you heard from Lucy, with the Celsius team. From a tech perspective, milestone 2, which is verifying the crypto addresses, is ongoing. The zero knowledge component are being integrated into the sidechain. And this is the first time anyone is doing something like this. So we are going through some learning curves, and we are working side by side with the crypto team. So the sidechain team is working with our crypto team, and working together to complete that second milestone. We also are working with the Celsius team, so they were able to successfully launch a Ck Audit node into their environment. So they're ongoing with that testing. We also started moving forward with the third milestone. So while we work on milestone 2, we also got a head start with milestone 3, which is the Bitcoin transaction translator. Our timelines are being evaluated, and we forecast Ck Audit will be the first sidechain to go live shortly after Zendu, and that's very exciting. From a game chain perspective, we continue working with the game developer, and this great insights because game developer doesn't have any blockchain experience, so we are learning a great deal in terms of what does it take to integrate an app that is not a blockchain app into the ecosystem. That's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosario. Now let's welcome Vano for the BD and operations updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Today, I'm happy to announce that one of our fiat on-ramp and off-ramp partners, Gardarian, expanded their Zen integration and added 50 plus fiat currencies to their existing Euro and USD peers. And they have also designed a special Zen-themed landing page for us. It is also worth noting that we now have 3 fiat on-ramps and off-ramps in our ecosystem. And in addition to Gardarian, Transac and CryptoCoin.pro also support Zen. So our ecosystem is growing and maturing with regards to on-ramps and off-ramps. I would also like to remind our community regarding STZen, because today, August 2nd, this is a day when stake count will stop reward distribution for STZen users, so that holders will no longer will be like incentivized to hold it. Due to like ST ETH issues, they want to now focus on the recovery of assets and make everyone whole. So we released our official announcement on our blog which is recommended for our community to review. And currently, it is recommended to offboard your STZen either through STZen to Zen bridge operated by Stake Count and Altcoinomy on one-to-one basis, but this requires KYC and AML, or using current SushiSwap liquidity pool, which can be accessed on SushiSwap directly or through other services like Total, Zerion, MetaMask Swaps, or OneInch. That's all from me, and back to you, Angie.
Thanks, Vano. Rolf, would you like to provide us any updates or comments today?
Oh, thank you. Not today. Appreciate it. Love all the updates, though, and all the new people that are coming on board. So this is great.
Thank you, Rolf. And now let's welcome Rob for the final part and the Q&A session.
Hello, everyone. Just want to reiterate Vano's message about STZen holders. Please offboard yourself with Stake Count directly, or use some of the recommendations that Vano mentioned on getting your STZen back into Zen, since Stake Count will no longer be supporting node rewards flowing through to STZen holders. Really happy that we have a couple of new team members. So we have one new team member on the product engineering side, Lewis, who you're going to hear more from directly in the coming weeks. Really pumped to have such an experienced engineer coming on and working on Zane's team. So that's really good news for us. Toju, really happy to have you on the content creation side. This is really important as we scale, that we need to actually get the message out there about what we're doing, make it effective, and just reach out to more and more people. So we're going to be scaling out our marketing and communication teams as well. We are also actively recruiting a lead developer evangelist for that role that we've been talking about for some months. And we have some really awesome, interesting candidates. So we're continuing on that. We want to be very judicious with who we bring on, because this is such a key role, and it's going to become increasingly important as we get Zendu to market and get different SDKs out there to market to make the tools more usable for engineers, developers. We need to get more support for these activities directly into the community. Alberto finished the first ZenIP. So I believe I mentioned this last week, just want to reiterate it because it's important, is it's been reviewed, and this is about Zendu. This is our first big one, getting it out there, and should be published soon. Now that it's been reviewed, we just need to get it out and published, and that'll be open then for community comments. Obviously, Zendu is almost delivered, so this isn't the way that we're going to be doing things in the future, but it's just an important symbolic, look, let's get the process going, and there's no better way to get the process going than with the most important ZenIP to date. On the community developer side, really happy that we had a community developer, Shao, submit 5 issues on ZenD directly to our GitHub. And it's just awesome seeing the community step up with developer contributions. None of these issues, so they've all been reviewed, none of them have been deemed critical, but they're all going to be tackled as soon as we wrap up the audit issues, which are forthcoming in the very near future. So once those resources are done wrapping up the audit issues, then we're going to turn them around and knock out those 5 issues that were logged on GitHub. So thank you very much. Always love seeing that and want to see more going forward. We have all parts of our tech roadmap, at least there on paper, the critical things that we want to work on, really prioritized with, again, like intention. This is a word that Rosario used that I very much believe we need to do going forward, because what we work on next will matter a lot, probably more so than at any point in our history, because thus far we've been working a little bit on inertia, knowing that we have to open up the ecosystem as a programmable blockchain instead of just being strictly a cryptocurrency-based blockchain. So now that we're up to this point, we have to be very thoughtful about what we're going to focus our resources on, and we need to make sure. So the big thing that I want to point out here is we want to make sure Zendu isn't just a massive code delivery, but it's also usable and useful from day one, and that's really where the roadmap and priorities are being developed right now, cultivated. So we have almost everything there. Just need to do kind of a final review and get this synthesized a little bit more so that we can open it up to community discussion. But I think you guys are going to be really happy with the emphasis on what are we going to do to really make this system useful with tools, libraries, supporting documentation, things like that. We're going to really open things up, including very, very important things like having a restricted certifier option for when Zendu goes live. People can actually grab the SDK and launch a useful product with it and not have to wait for Lattice to be delivered some months later, right? So the big goal is we want it to be useful from day one. We want to make sure that it's a rational, like optimized priority list so that we're focusing resources where they matter most. All of those things, and then really focusing on core competencies and what's going to open up the ecosystem versus just business as usual that we've been doing just because, again, inertia. So we want to get out of that mindset and really focus on productive, rapid deliveries. So I do want to point out, though, a big shift towards the end of the year that you're going to see, and I've been alluding to it, I want to make it explicit, is for years now, we launched this project in 2017 as a cryptocurrency-based blockchain. You guys know the history, you've been here for a while, and then we embarked on this deep R&D exercise. And this took years. It involved invention, design, actually hiring a team, team building in this space with limited resources is really tough. So it took a while to actually get the team in place and really to get development going. We're done with the first major part of that delivery, right? And that was all R&D to what's going to be released to mainnet and production, right? So there's a huge path there. And just the character, the nature of these updates that you hear every week, we talk a lot about things that we're going to do. You're always hearing us project into the future. We are going to deliver this. We're going to deliver that. It's going to be amazing, right? There are going to be so many people that want to use it. Now that we're actually getting to that future, it's important to shift the resources of the organization so that we're not just talking about the future anymore. So our tech updates are going to be shifting more towards things that we're actually delivering. Now, on the core technology side, with the product team, we've been building out POCs, but even POCs and these side chains that we've been building out with design partners, there's still things that are about the future. When we go to mainnet, we are going to have this set of early adopters and design partners, key industry participants who are going to be building on Horizen. But again, it's all future tense, right? Really important. We learned a lot from the POC process, just in terms of improving the SDK, our product, and also getting this future kind of demand set of people that want to build out in the ecosystem. Absolutely critical. And this has been a kind of a combined effort from product, BD, really the entire organization focusing on who can we get in here and get them set up so that we're solving their problems with them, for them today with POCs that will then switch over to production. Now we're approaching Zendoo with this very big, important delivery. So for years, you've been hearing about this future stuff that we're doing. That future's here, or it's just about here, right? So the key is to make sure that what we deliver, it is delivered with a sufficient set of compatible products, talking wallets, block explorers, libraries, ultimately modules, and then comes with this MVP or minimum viable product certifier option that we've been talking about on, without having the full Lattice product on being able to deploy a fully decentralized blockchain. Maybe we have an interim product. It's secure, it works, and it meets the minimum requirements for what our customers, users actually want. And we make this available from day one with Zendoo. So this is the key focus for us now. This is where really most of our resources are honed in on this very specific problem to make sure that when we deliver, it's not just throwing a bunch of code out there into the ether, and we're actually delivering meaningful products that make this an attractive value proposition for people to come into the ecosystem and build. So that said, we will have this kind of continuing evolution of what you're going to hear on these team calls. Pay attention in particular to the product team's growth. You heard about some new team members. We have other team members that are signed in, coming on board in the coming weeks. We're still hiring aggressively. This is where we're going to be building out a lot of the critical tools and working on making the ecosystem massively useful. So this will be where we're going to make sure we have tool compatibility. We have the libraries, the block explorer. We ultimately have modules. We have POCs that could then be used as design templates for others that want to build in the ecosystem. Within 6 months, we will have a killer combo of deep engineering innovation like we've had, but this will be combined with rapid product deliveries and improvements. And we will be unleashing tools for external developers and empowering the community developers. So there's this linking back to something I said at the beginning here is we are focusing quite a bit now on bringing on the right developer evangelist team, starting with a lead and then hiring some developers underneath him or her. And that that coupled with a bunch of resources and a bunch of the tools that the product team is delivering will really open up the ecosystem. So this is what we need, and it will involve a changing character of this organization and just the things that you hear every week. So we go through deep engineering stuff, tasks that we complete. We talk about important concepts that we're focusing on in terms of deliveries on the core engineering side, but it's going to get much more tangible in the very near future. Recognizing this big evolution and shift, we really need to make sure that everything that we're doing as an organization and ecosystem is designed to scale. So this is why Horizen Labs is one example, which I can speak to, is focusing intensely on organizational development because we know that we need to scale. We need to scale hard. And I don't want to just hit a point where all of a sudden the ecosystem explodes because we've opened it up. Finally, it's a programmable blockchain ecosystem. Finally, we have tools out there. Finally, it's usable. Finally, we can answer that question satisfactorily to CTOs and other engineers why they might want to build their next innovation here on Horizen. And I don't want to hit that point, and I don't want us to fail to capture it because we're not ready as an organization, as an ecosystem to scale. So we're thinking very carefully about everything, about how we do development, how we do products, how we do our messaging. This is why we're beefing up our marketing team, how we think of our brand, and as our brand is going to scale, because we've had several years of really just being low-key. We're doing R&D, and we talk about the R&D we're doing. We get into some key relationships with key partners, but really we haven't delivered the tools and capabilities yet. But when we do, and things really take off, we need to make sure that every aspect of what we're doing and how we do business makes sense. Think infrastructure. If we have a flood of people coming to the ecosystem and a flood of demand for tools and just eyeballs on different web assets that we have, we need to make sure our infrastructure can keep up, our business can keep up, our support can keep up. Even how we make decisions has to keep up. It can't be hierarchical. It can't be unidimensional. We really need to consider a lot of different things and just how we do business in general. So again, the name of the game is scale at that point, and that's what we're focusing on, just organizational reform on today, and coupling that with products and key engineering deliveries. I'll stop here. We can open it up to some Q&A.
Thank you so much, Rob, and thank you everyone for contributing with your questions. I'm loving the first one, and the first one is, why is Horizen so amazing?
The people, definitely the people. No, I mean, really, as there are many things that you can think of from a competitive moat perspective, or what makes us unique or valuable, why people might want to participate. The people really matter. How the organization that we have, the organizations that we've collected into this ecosystem, and just the way that we do things is important, and it is unique. I've been in this industry for a while, and I would say that that's a critical differentiator, especially in a world of open source where anyone could just look at what we're doing on GitHub and copy paste it. Not anyone could actually make use of it in a number of important ways. Like, number one, from an engineering perspective, not everyone can just grab code and run with it. But from an organizational perspective on how we bring things to market, that matters. Now, our technology is unique. We have been focusing hard on R&D for years to have a massively scalable, fully decentralized sidechain system so that it can scale into the needs of what we consider just where blockchain's going. So we've been building the system to make it unique and dominant in, say, the multiple years timeframe, say like 3 to 5, 10 years, where the industry's going. No one will really know at the 10-year horizon, but at least in the coming years, we know that things have to be modular. You can't have architectures that try to drive everything through single choke points for failure. So we've been doing that, and we've been really focusing on that cutting edge technology. We focus on zero knowledge cryptography, which is a really key competitive advantage for why people might want to build in our ecosystem, in particular for data privacy and then for security. These are really important things. And then there are the other intangible things on the relationships that we build across the industry that really will be much more noticeable and bearing fruit as we go into production with Zendoo. So hopefully that answers some of the questions, but there's a lot going on here. Everything from people, technology, to relationships, partnerships, and it's all culminating with Zendoo being delivered very soon.
Thank you, Rob. The second question is, what's the progress on making new hires?
It is slower than I would like, because I'd like to just snap my fingers and everything just becomes true. But it's actually going much faster than I would say other HR professionals on our team predicted. So I would say very good. And we are attracting extraordinary talent, which is really the key for us. So we could hire much more quickly if we didn't have such a high talent bar, but we need to be very cognizant about not diluting our abilities going forward. So we've been very diligent about who we bring onto the team. There's a very rigorous vetting process. And I really feel that we're bringing the best of the best into the ecosystem. And that process is accelerating.
Thank you. And the third question is, what is Ck Audit?
Ck Audit is a flagship product that Horizen Labs is developing. It's really developing with Celsius, the Celsius network, on creating a fully decentralized, automated, real-time audit tool that uses zero-knowledge cryptography for privacy preservation of clients and their clients, so institutional clients and their clients, so that you can real-time audit resources that exist in the blockchain world. So that's what we focus on right now, is on a single use case with the Celsius network, where we want to help Celsius prove to the world, using privacy technology, and therefore preserving the privacy of their clients, that the reserves that they claim they have are in fact in their control, and do this in a cryptographically secure way that proves reserves without revealing the underlying transactions or the addresses for the clients. Now, Horizen Labs is generalizing this product. This is being focused initially on, I would say, arguably the most important lending client in the industry right now, and at least on the retail side. And from there, we're going to be generalizing the product into solving other client needs. You can think here exchanges that might have reserves that they want to claim, or they want to prove to the world that they actually control. Can you imagine if Tether could actually prove to the world that it controls all of the reserves that they claim they do? We could then tune this to actually prove other things other than just cryptocurrency collateral, things like operations that happen on private blockchains. So if you want to keep your blockchain private, but still do something with respect to auditing and output from that, without revealing underlying data or transactions, this would potentially be a product for it. Really, at the end of the day, the big picture way of summarizing is we are looking to disrupt audit in that entire industry, rather than having accountant or armies of accountants and other auditors manually going through processes, procedures, documentation, to be able to, where applicable, and this isn't applicable everywhere, automate that process and open it up to the public, is what Ck Audit's all about. So it's a really important product. I would say for the ecosystem, it's much more important than that even, because this is proving that we could do something extremely valuable, important with Zendoo out of the box. So that's why I'm so excited for Ck Audit, independent of the fact that it's solving a big problem and potentially challenging an entire audit industry. It's really important for us to show that the technology that we're delivering is useful out of the box to solve big problems. So that's what it's all about, and really pumped for the team and the progress they're making, and look forward to sharing with you guys additional progress on our milestones.
Okay, and we just have a tie for a question that just got upvoted right now, and I will take it. So the last question would be, who is Horizen's biggest competitor in the Ck world?
That's a really good question, and I personally haven't been looking at our competitors in the Zk world per se. Although you can look at scaling solutions on Ethereum with, say, like Zk rollups to be able to make a layer one blockchain. That blockchain in particular is massively useful and used right now. Making something like that much more scalable with Zk Tech is a really important problem to be solved. And maybe that would be, if I had to point out a competitor on the Zk space trying to do something similar to what we're doing that's important, it would probably be in that direction. Although I would also point out other competitors in the industry that go beyond the Zk space that we need to continue learning from and be cognizant of the innovations that are coming out of them. So the way we look at competitors, really, we're looking at what can we learn from them, make sure that what we're building is relevant and still on the innovation frontier, so that when we actually go to market with products, we're not behind the curve. So hopefully that answers the question. I see Rolf adding some other answers here into the text chat. So guys, please check it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rob, for answering all the questions, and again to everyone for contributing with them. So this is a wrap. Thanks everybody for joining us here in our weekly Insider. Remember, we do this every Monday to give you the latest Horizen updates. I wish you all a great week. Bye-bye.